All right, traders, a very warm welcome. Devang here from the Financial Analyst. And in this video, we'll talk about the overall view of the banking sector in India. And as I promised you all on Instagram, we'll be doing a video on all different sectors. So today is about Nifty Bank. And we'll be analyzing the top five stocks in Nifty Bank, which is constituting Nifty Bank, which is ICICI Bank, Kotak, HDFC Bank, SBI, as well as IndusInd Bank. So that's the focus of today's video going to be. So I'll be giving you the outlook for Bank Nifty for the month of April 2021. So if you're interested in that, make sure you have some free time with you because it's going to be a 25-30 minute video. So I'm going to keep you occupied. I'm going to be giving you a lot of levels that I've worked on for quite some time. So make sure you keep taking screenshots and copying those levels on the charts because that's going to help you out ultimately. So before we get started, I want to make two statements. The first one is that today we touched 8,000 subscribers on YouTube. So first of all, I'm so thankful to you. I'm so grateful to the entire community. This is massive for us. Thank you so much for that enormous support, the love that you have for the work that we do. But with that being said, we're starting to get greedy. And I want to give myself and the community a target of 10,000 subscribers in this month itself of April. So do you think we can achieve that? So to achieve that, we will be putting hard hitting material every single day on YouTube. So whether it is 2 videos a day, 3 videos a day, at 12 a.m. in the morning, I don't care, but that's going to come because I want the community to benefit from the analysis that we do. It's our goal at TFA to be one of the biggest communities in the country of profitable traders. So I want to achieve that. So if you think that is achievable, if you want to be a part of this journey, hit that like button so I know how many people are with me in this movement. Number two, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, add to the count and click on that bell icon because you never know when the new video is dropping. And number three, if you are already a TFA community member, whether you're on Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp, anywhere you are, Instagram, go to the comment section below, guys. Hashtag TFA family. Show me some love. Show us the love for the work that you like to see every day. And a massive thanks once again to you guys, because it's eventually you are my extended family, and it is because of you watching our video countless hours that we keep on putting this video again and again. So the second thing I want to state today is the disclaimer. Whatever views that I share or any of the team members share is our own personal view of how we want to approach the markets. So please consult your advisors. Please use your own risk rewards analysis and have hedged positions before you take and apply any of these into your own trading journey. So that's something I want to put it out there before I start. Let's get started, guys. Let's not waste too much time. Today's focus, Nifty Bank. Something everyone loves to trade. Most volatile asset, I would say, on the Indian markets right now. And in the last month of March, 1,000 point every intraday move was a joke. And you saw the volatility. Even out the monies have given you 100% return. Easy, right? 100% is a understatement actually. But what do we do now? March is over. We in the entire month of March, we saw consolidation. So from February onwards, we saw a good consolidation that came into, and from March, we started seeing some corrective actions that happened. And this was primarily due to the dollar index getting stronger. You had that taper tantrum issue going on, which was about the bond yields getting higher and higher. The RBI not having a lot of space to adjust the interest rates, inflation going higher, and now the COVID cases have started to rise. I think today I read the news, we are about 93,000 cases every single day. That's the addition that we've been doing. That is bad. And that's a 6-month high that we're on right now. This was the case back in August. And again, we're back to that same picture. And already the governments are, talking about restrictions, lockdowns, but I don't know what's going to happen. So my advice to the viewers, be safe and be close to your family and be safe. Now, Nifty Bank, let's start on with the levels. Let's not waste too much time. Primarily, if I start off with Nifty, I've already given you the intraday view of Nifty in my previous video for 5th of April, Monday. In Nifty, see, the interesting thing that happened in Nifty is, if I take this previous decline that happened from 12th of March 21, if I put my Fibonacci levels all the way back to the lows of 14,250. One very interesting thing to see about Nifty is that the markets from these lows have retraced 61%. So if this fall is 100 rupees, you've come back 61 rupees, which shows that markets have really rebounded. But that is Nifty. It's not your Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty, I would say, in this is very, is not contributing a lot. The metals have done extremely well. The IT sector has done very well. Auto, etc. Everything's done very well. I think the banks have been lagging in that. They've been laggards, to put it that way. So Nifty right now is at a very crucial level. I've already told you that Nifty is in a consolidated range right now, and this range right now is between 15,250 levels to 14,300 levels. We are in a good 1,800 point range, and we need a decisive move outside the range to decide where we need to go. If the entire global markets have already shown what they want to do, I think it's the Indian market which haven't done anything. So what's my view on Nifty? Because I need to give that to you first so that I can move on to the banking sector and the other sectors in the coming days. So Nifty is at a very crucial level of 14,900. Let's take a round number. And if 14,900 breaks, it could be on Monday, but on a closing basis, I don't want a shooting star to be formed here. Let's say 14,900 breaks on a closing basis. I would say 15,230 would open up. It should open up. 200 levels should open up. Is that the maximum upside I'm seeing right now? For now, yes. Maybe for this week, yes. Because we are in a good triangular consolidation. And if an upside comes, I think 400 points is something that we should be happy with. Let's not go too far right now. The reason I'm saying that is, number one, the technicals show that. Also, we got a good Fibonacci level at 15,100. Maybe that could be a strong resistance, 78% retracement. Number two is, if Indian markets start to break out tomorrow, the other markets have already gone up. So maybe when we hit this level of 15,200 levels, odd numbers, maybe at that point of time, then dollar starts to come back up. The yields start to go back up, and the American markets start to give a retracement. So that could lead to Indian markets also maybe correcting from this level. So right now, our goal will be 14,900. If that is broken, sustained on daily closing, let's go higher, 15,100 and then 15,200. So draw this triangle on your screen, take a screenshot, draw this on your screen so that you know what's the range. Now, why am I giving a positional view? That's something I need to answer. I need to make it clear to the viewers, because you'll understand how I approach the markets. When I started, because a lot of people ask me, you can trade and make money every day by using intraday, and I've already given you that intraday video. But try to understand something. When I started my trading journey in the markets, I was an investor, and fortunately, I had a good amount of capital saved up from my early years. And when I put them in the market, I got good attractive prices. Kotak 800, HUL about 1,000 rupees. Page Industries 14,000. So I got really good attractive prices, and I made a good wealth out of that, which helped me to come into my intraday journey, which you all know. So I'll do a video on the portfolio that I have in a couple of days, but let's leave that to later. So I started out with investing, and I think everyone does that because that's the safest way you can go about the market. And when I started seeing some money pour in, my investments giving return, I started cashing them out, and I went towards the intraday side of the trading. And whenever you come to the intraday, whoever is new to the markets, you've always seen that we always start out as scalpers. Why? Because we can't take too much risk. When you're investing, the risk is small. But when you're doing intraday in options or in equity, you can literally blow up your capital in a day. So you have to be very risk averse coming from that background. So, I was a scalper to start with. Everyone is. Couple of points on Nifty, 10 points Nifty, Bank Nifty, 20, 30 points, getting out of the market. But the problem with that was, you made some money in a couple of days, but in the next couple of days, you lost some money. So eventually intraday is what? Intraday is about you trade every single day. You get some money on a couple of days, you lose some money on a couple of days. So eventually you need to be net profitable. Now, so once I was a good scalper, I started with some kind of trading and holding it for a longer period of time. So in scalping, if I'm holding for like 5-10 minutes, then I started to hold for 1-2 hours, 3 hours. But eventually I realized that, if I want to be an intraday trader, I have to put so much time. And if you have no other work, you could do that. But if, I have a lot of work that I have to do, I have to take care of the business, I have to take care of my chartered accountancy. So lots of things are going on. So things did become difficult on the intraday basis. And that is where my focus came towards positional side of trading. I'm not saying equity. You could do that with options also. The case is that now in intraday, you have to focus 6 hours every day on the screen, 30 days a week, considering no holidays are there. But in positional trading, you don't have to take hundreds of trades in a day, in a month. You can just take 5 or 10 trades and still be profitable. So you need to know what's the overall view of the market. If you know the overall view of the market, take a position in that direction, hold it, because eventually money is made by waiting, not by trading. Everyone should be aware of that. If you can make 100 rupees in intraday, you can make 400 in positional trading. Holding a position for longer, trying to bear a little bit more risk will seek you more reward. So the reason I'm giving this is so people who are positional, who want to buy equity now, this will be helpful to you. Obviously, you know the intraday perspective. So Nifty is much more stronger as compared to Bank Nifty. Sorry, I take too much time. I hope you are learning every bit with my journey. So, Nifty is looking stronger. All these things are clear. Now let's move on to Bank Nifty, right? Bank Nifty, however, Bank Nifty on the support side, before I forget, we have very good trend line support here. I've joined the lows of 21st December, 1st February budget, and our current lows. So as long as we are in this range, scalp it out, hold, do swing trading, meaning you buy low, sell high in the range. That's it. I would be interested when either side breaks. If I go to the downside, I would say 13,600 is on the cards. That's the maximum correction that I see as of today. And I'm in line with the brokers, the big banks out there. Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, all have similar targets. If this, the pressure starts to come in, maybe of COVID. Today, Chris Wood from Jefferies has reduced his overweight rating on India because he believes COVID can take a toll on India. So a couple of big investors now are getting cautious, right? But that doesn't mean we start selling. If the levels tell us to sell, we will go on the sell side. Now let's come to Bank Nifty. Complicated charting. I will make it simpler for you. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to zoom out the screen for you so that you understand what I have done. Please, as I keep on discussing, keep on taking screenshots so you know what to do in the coming days. Now look at this trend line that I have drawn over here. I have joined July 2019 highs. I have joined October 2019 highs. And this coincides somewhere over here where we took support. And now we are below this support. So we had a major resistance coming in over here, which now we are below that area. Now we are below that area. So, and this is now coinciding somewhere at 34,300 levels, right? This is where this is coinciding. So I believe if this resistance, so if you, are taking a long trade in Bank Nifty, I think this should be a one target that you need to book your partial positions for. This is a good, strong resistance coming in on Bank Nifty. Also, it is coinciding with your 50 period moving average on the daily chart. So this region over here is going to be a very, very strong resistance in the coming days. So that's just about 400, 500 points higher. So that's why I said in the intraday video, if you are going bullish on Bank Nifty, if 34K breaks, scalp for a 300-400 points. And I think we should stop there. And let's observe further price action, right? So this is one point I want to make clear, that 50 MA right now is at 34,536. So you can say 34,400 to 500. This should be a good range, a good resistance that we can see on the upside. Okay, this line is clear. So, and in the future also, this could be a good resistance going forward. That is fine. Now, another resistance that I'm seeing is over here. If you take this, so red is resistance, yellow is support. If you take this over here, we got a good resistance here. We got a good resistance here as well as here. So even if this level breaks, you will start to stop at this region that I'm drawing out for you. That is the reason I've drawn this line. So these levels are saying that your movements will be restricted till 35,000. Odd numbers, 35,000, 200, 300 levels. So even if this breaks, 35K will become very, very strong. And then markets can be expected to move in this range before they decide what they want to do, whether up or down. I hope you're understanding that also. These are, and one more resistance that I see is coming from the lows. 3rd June low. This. So markets were moving in this range. This was the range in the COVID times. You know, you're falling this resistance and this support. And you can see exactly this is where we took support on Bank Nifty yesterday, here on Bank Nifty, as well as resistance earlier, support earlier. So we were moving in this range. So even if you, let's say, break this area, if you also break this area, then you can be expected to trade like this. I hope you are following with me. I'm not complicating the charting. Again, we are not predicting what will happen. I've given you the levels and we will try to go by them. This will help us to decide future movements of the stocks as well as Bank Nifty. I hope things are getting clear. Now, I hope, and this is a support, that's the resistance. One more level, the last level is coming from this low I've joined. This low I've joined, which is open-ended right now. So what am I trying to say from this chart? Let's put it in simple words now. So what I'm trying to say from this chart is, let's hide the 50 MA for now. If this level breaks, so first target on the bullish side. So if 34,900 breaks, let's say on Monday, 15-minute closing, you could be bullish. You should be able to get 34,300, 400 levels for the first target. If that is sustained, good, because then you can again see some pressure and go back to this trend line, right? So that could be another place where you can try to buy if you get a dip in the market. Understood? And then you can decide what you want to do. If this trend line is broken, then we will start to see further lows, because this is a confluence right now that I'm seeing on the chart. If this level is broken, then these levels will start to come. So this is what you have to decide, which way the markets perform. Again, we're not predicting. We're going with the flow. If let's say we break 34,300, right? We have this level going up here. This will provide resistance. So even if this breaks, then we are very comfortable in Bank Nifty. That can be considered as a very good breakout, because then we can come even to these levels, 36K, 37K, and then we can hover in this comfortable range of pre-COVID times. Comfortable range. And your support then will be this area, which was nothing but our previous resistance. So this is what you need to focus in Bank Nifty. I am not very bullish on Bank Nifty. I hope my levels are clear. I am not very bullish on Bank Nifty. Why? The reason is, as I've already told you, Nifty has done great. Nifty has done great. However, Bank Nifty, if I put out my Fibonacci's, you can see that Bank Nifty hasn't done anything. If I take the highs of the current fall and I join with the lows of the current fall, I am currently only at the 38.2% retracement. That's not the case in Nifty. Nifty 60% retracement. Here only 38.2%, which means that Bank Nifty could still fall. It could still fall. So this is what I'm trying to say. So based on Fibonacci, that our targets are roughly same. How? We got a 34,000 levels of 400, 500 levels, which I've already given you. And we have another target of 34,965, which is 35,000 levels, and 35,700. So our targets are almost similar on Fibonacci also. So what I want you to see, what I'm trying to say through this is that, you know, banking, I will not be surprised if banking underperforms. Let's say, because see, Nifty eventually will run up. It's a bull market. India is a bull market. No matter how bad things are, eventually we will run up. But this time, I will not be surprised if banking lags, because I see sector rotation on the cards. I think sector rotation is playing out. More money into pharma, consumers, auto, metal, FMCG. So we are seeing some shift from growth. That is what I'm trying to say from this analysis. So I hope the view for Nifty Bank is clear. Which side it breaks, whichever side it moves, we'll try to follow there. And every day, you know, I'll come with this after the markets. We'll see how these levels have played out, so you can add more conviction to this. HDFC Bank, the biggest constituent of Bank Nifty, HDFC Bank. Now, what do we do about HDFC Bank? Again, not difficult. Let's be very simple about it. I have drawn this. So yellow is a resistance. I have drawn this resistance trend line coming in from 20 July 18, joining our highs of 9 July, joining our highs of 23rd December, at the same time joining our current peak of 27th November, which is right now somewhere over here. Okay. which is somewhere coinciding with yesterday's high. So that level was quite accurate. Number two, I have drawn a horizontal resistance. So let me just go back a little bit. How have I drawn this resistance? This is nothing but your levels. The previous peak of 1520, which is a resistance earlier, now tested as support, now again testing as resistance. So you can see that this 1520 area is a very, very strong resistance for HDFC Bank. I think HDFC Bank is going to have a hard time to go above this level. Why? Double resistance. We not only have a horizontal, the previous higher resistance, but also at the same time, I'm getting this huge trend line that's holding true for the last 2 years. It's holding true for the last 2 years. That's also coinciding here. So for HDFC Bank to be really, really strong, for it to become viable, I would say let it sustain above this trend line. Let it close above this trend line. Then we can start to be buyers. But before that, be cautious. Be cautious. Okay. So right now, I have also taken this resistance of the highs of this high and this high. So I have drawn this area. It's a projected ray that can follow if the trend continues, because right now you can see over here also support has been drawn. So right now we are moving in this parallel channel, which is a downward parallel channel. So let the parallel channel break on the upside. Only then would I recommend you to go long in HDFC Bank. So what are the levels that you need to be concerned about? The first level that I want you to be concerned about would be, let's break 1520 first. Below 1520, or let's take 1520 round number, below that, I am not going to be bothered in buying HDFC Bank, because I believe every rally that comes here could be, so right now we are just stuck in this small range, this range over here. We have a very good support trend line that is coming in from our lows of 2nd November, joining 21 December lows and joining the current lows. Even yesterday, HDFC Bank has taken support over here. So now what's the plan action? So if 1520 breaks, you could try to scalp for targets of 1540 if you're a scalper in the market. However, better would be wait for this trend line to be broken. Roughly around 1530, 1540, depends where you are, what day you are. What's the maximum time available with HDFC Bank? Till about 22nd April. If HDFC Bank wants to consolidate, it's got time till here. But after that, it needs to decide, do I want to go up or do I want to go down? So once this trend line breaks, you become extremely bullish on banks. You become bullish on HDFC Bank. Target number 1, 1560, target 2, 1600, and target 3, 1640. These are the target on the upside. But however, if this trend line breaks, then you will again come back like this. You will again go back, fall in that parallel channel. That is what you need to be concerned about. So if you are in the trade of HDFC Bank right now, your stop loss should be 1460. I would say that is a stop loss for all longs right now in HDFC Bank. Let's be very careful about it. This is also a very, very strong point. You can see confluence of two areas. Confluence of not only this support that we have on our screen, this support, at the same time the resistance also. This is a very, very strong trend line and area. So 1460 needs to be the stop loss right now. If that is broken, you should consider going short in the market, especially on the banks. On the upside, I would say 1540 levels. If those levels are broken, then we will start to be long. Okay, that is the view for HDFC Bank. Now let's come to ICICI Bank. So I would suggest you all to, mark your charts like this. What I'm trying to say is I've given a diversification. Nifty, then Bank Nifty, all these stocks are according to the weights. So I have divided all the stocks according to how much weightage that they have in Bank Nifty. Then I have the auto sector, all the auto companies are there, etc., etc. So I've lined up everything as per the weightage that they have in the respective index. Okay, now what do we have on ICICI Bank? Let me just zoom out the chart for you, and let's discuss ICICI Bank, what we can plan on the ICICI chart. So we have a very, very strong resistance right now, which is coming. It's a very, very old level from 30 December 19. It's stopping us at 676. Now that is a very, very strong resistance that I see on the charts right now. So I don't think we are going to go above 700 on ICICI right now. I think this area over here That's a very, very strong resistance. Any movement towards that level should be sold into. That's the maximum target I would say I see on ICICI right now. But that level is too far away right now, so we will come to that later. Further on, I see this resistance trend line coming in, just like I've drawn in HDFC Bank as well. I've also drawn this support. Red is support. So right now, again in ICICI, we are in a downward channel. This horizontal line is nothing but that is our previous high retested here as support. Previous high retested here as support. That's what I've done over there. And this is that the horizontal line. I have drawn this red support, which is coming from 26 November, joining this area, and joining the current low. So right now, this is a very, very strong support that I am seeing on ICICI Bank. So please note down these levels. Also, I've taken a very strong support coming also from the 3rd June lows, which is coming somewhere over here. So even if this level breaks, so let's say worst case scenario. Now, how do I interpret this chart? Lastly, I've also drawn a resistance. Support earlier turned into resistance. How do I interpret this chart now? So very simple. Right now we are in this downward channel formation on ICICI Bank, correct? So what you need to see is this level breaking, which is of 560. Because if 560 breaks, then we will start to move in this range. If 560 does not break, if market comes down towards 560, it is probable that this will become support. So right now, ICICI Bank looks much more stronger as compared to the peers. It's come off the lows a lot. So if you come to 560, you should take a support. And I would say if this trend line over here, if that trend line breaks, then we should start seeing this kind of momentum. This support earlier, this that I'm encircling for you on the screen, then this will become a resistance, and the support that I've drawn over here, this will become your support. And what is the stop loss on ICICI? Let's say you're already long in the market. Your stop loss right now should be 560. Any closing below 560, I would say that should be a stop loss for you, because below that, the trade gets spoiled. The trade really, really gets spoiled. I hope you're understanding how I've done these levels up. So below these 560 levels, we will continue that parallel lower channel, and above this yellow trend line that I've drawn connecting the current highs of the correction, we will start to see some kind of movement which happens like this. Eventually, let's say if even this breaks out, then you will start to see this 670, 680 levels. That is what I think about ICICI Bank. Nothing else right now. Going further on with Axis Bank, the third biggest constituent now of Nifty Bank. I hope things are making sense. So that's why I said it's going to be a little bit long video, but these levels are very concrete, which I think will work in our current market scenario. Now, the third constituent, Axis Bank. Again, some complex charting, but I will run it with you, and things will become very, very simple. So don't worry about it. What have I drawn on the screen? I've got a good support coming in over here. I've joined the lows of October, and I've joined the current market lows. This is a very strong support. Number two, I've also taken this support over here, which is coinciding here. The reason why Axis Bank didn't fall down further from this level is because you not only had this support number one, you not only had support number two, you also had this horizontal resistance earlier as a support now. So this is a crucial level for Axis Bank. What is this level? 690. 690 is a crucial level on Axis Bank. If the level of 690 breaks, you need to exit longs. I'm going to be very simple about it, because below that, the earliest level I see is 625. So we could see a big fall in Axis Bank, because right now, like all the other banks, it's also going in some kind of a downward channel, right? So we have got some support. Axis, I think, is the weakest right now in compared to all the other banks on the chart, that is. So what I am concerned is right now, also we have a support earlier, turned into a resistance over here. So which is the current closing price. So now what you have to see is, where is Axis going? Even if Axis breaks this line, the maximum upside I would see is till this resistance that's coming, which is somewhere around 740 to 750. This could be the current leg of the upside that you will see in the bank. So for example, if Nifty is going to move towards 15,200 levels, you could expect Axis Bank to be somewhere near 7,740 or 750. But I don't think that's going to break right now. That is something I want to add right away. So if this level is broken, even then there is some problem with Axis Bank. So the problem is with Axis Bank, we have a very, very strong resistance over here, 760. That's a very, very strong resistance that I am seeing on the chart. It was our 2020 heavyweight resistance. So Axis Bank on the upside is going to face some problem, So what I'm trying to say is, how could you trade on it? I would say have a stop loss at 690 closing basis if you're long already, right? If you're not in longs, I would suggest you go with other banking stocks, which could be more powerful. But Axis, I would say, is the weakest right now on the cards, because even if this 740 breaks, you got a 760 resistance. Even if that breaks, we are getting another resistance over here, which is this area over here, connecting this area over here. So we are going to face some problems on Axis Bank on the upside. So at the same time, I have a trend line coming in. If this trend line breaks, you will see some pressure coming in Axis. So the current plan, just to conclude about Axis Bank, good support I am seeing at 686, 96 to 680. That should be a stop loss on closing basis. If it is holding good, if you break the current high, yesterday's closing, a 15-minute closing, you could go long. 740, 750 maximum upside right now. Even if that breaks 750, and then finally about 800. That is what I see on Axis Bank. But it is in some kind of a problem. Going further on, Kotak. What should we discuss on Kotak? Kotak is fairly simple. It's looking fine. I think Kotak is one bank which you could be long in. If you want to be long in banks, I think Kotak is, because see, Kotak has already given the fall it had to give. The other banks have not fallen that much to the intensity that Kotak has fallen. From the highs of 2000, it came to 1700. It's fallen a lot. Right now, we have this parallel channel that was happening in the COVID times. So this is going to be massive support, massive support. So this level should not break. Your stop loss in Kotak could be any breach of this line on a closing basis. You could draw that for yourself. So basically it's coming around 1730, 1740 levels. This is also massive support. So even if this trend line breaks, let's say for some reason pressure comes into banks. So even if this trend line breaks, 1700 will stop you. It's a very, very strong resistance. This will stop you. Even if this breaks, then you will come to this area, then only. But I don't think that is on the cards right now. If it happens, we will see. But right now, it's not on the cards. So currently, it's taken a very, very good support. Kotak's taken a very, very good support. I think this is a good time. You could go long in Kotak. If you want to be on a positional trade, put your stop loss below this current low on a closing basis, so around 1740 levels, and you could go long. It's a very good risk reward trade that I see on the charts right now. Your target could be 2000 levels. Above that, some small room is there. But Kotak, I think, is looking very comfortable on the charts. So this is what I want to see. Also, it's just currently broken out of this range. So we could be happy to see some gains coming in Kotak. So I think Kotak Bank should outperform if Bank Nifty wants to go up. SBI. Again, fairly simple chart. SBI was moving in this range that you see on the chart right now. This was the COVID times, and we got a very good gap up. I think this was due to the amazing results, the earnings, obviously, that came in. SBI always posts really good numbers. And I have drawn this resistance trend line also on the screen for you. Okay. What you need to do is, we are even if SBI, let's say, falls, I don't see a lot of correction on SBI, because even at 320, 340 levels, we have a good support coming up. What you need to see is SBI breaking this level, the resistance that I've drawn for you. I've basically the highs, I have joined all them. So if SBI breaks these highs, then you could start to see 380. I think 380 could be an easy target that you can achieve. And after that, I would say this area becomes strong support. This area becomes strong support, and you could start to move then something like this on the SBI chart. Resistance obviously at 420 and a couple of at 400. That could be some kind of setup on SBI that you can see. So again, if you want a short, SBI, if you want a short, let's say you get some kind of bearish pattern tomorrow, you could try to short. But right now, what I see is if this area breaks, you could get 380, then get a retracement. This becomes support. You could fall down, start to buy over here, and you could, continue in that kind of range. You could go really bearish on SBI. Let's say this does not break, because right now I'm also seeing a good support coming in. So we're in a parallel channel like all the other stocks. So we're moving in this range. So if this also breaks, then 300 is coming on the cards. Then 300 will come on the cards. So this is what I think about SBI. I hope my view is clear. And finally, IndusInd Bank, again looking strong. Again looking strong. You can note down the levels. This is the last stock I want to analyze. Then you can note down the levels, rewind my videos if you haven't jotted down the levels. A very, very strong resistance is coming in IndusInd Bank from 2018 August. Very strong resistance, which shows that IndusInd Bank should not be able to break 1180. Currently, you are at 1000 odd numbers. So the maximum potential that I see in IndusInd should be 1180 approximately. Could go to, even if you take some time, could be 1150 also. So 1180 is the maximum upside that I see on IndusInd Bank right now. If this breaks, we are going to be aggressive on IndusInd. Aggressive. What are the supports I have drawn? I have got a very, very good support, very, very good support from the COVID lows over here, which you can join on the chart, which shows me maximum downside as of today. I've also drawn a support coming in from the November lows to this area, which exactly supported you here. Exactly. Now, this is another stock which you can be bullish on. So with Kotak Bank, this is another stock that looks good for an upside momentum. Why am I saying that? Because right now you are at a very good support of 950. As long as 950, so 950, any closing below 950 is a stop loss for buyers. You have to keep SL of buyers. Number one. Number two, it's a good confluence of three things: resistance coming in over here, support coming in over here, and also this support coming in over here. That is why it could not be broken. And today we have just got a very good volume, a good Marubozu breakout, which tells us that 1050 levels are also on the cards. This could be another trade that you could use in this coming week. Easy trade. I think we can get some good points if Bank Nifty supports. I would say 1050 levels should be easily achievable on IndusInd Bank. Right now, the trajectory that I see on IndusInd is, this is the maximum downside, 950, and you could try to move in this kind of range. This is a very, very strong trend line. However, if this trend line breaks anywhere, then again, you are coming back to 950. And then you have to decide from here, am I going to break further down or am I going to bounce from there? Maximum upside, I've already drawn this yellow line. That's the maximum upside I see for you. So right now, what your job is, you could try to do an intraday buy or a small scalping, small swing trade that you could do on the IndusInd Bank. And this trend line also could be a positional stop loss. Any closing below that trend line could be a stop loss. Maximum downside 950 as of now. If the trend line sustains, good enough. But if it breaks, that can also be a great intraday short, which would mean that this could be a lower high and markets come back to this 950. And then from here we decide, do I take support here or if I break? Because if I break, then this level comes 800. Then this comes. This is what I think about IndusInd Bank. So I've analyzed the entire banking sector for you, the big banks, the major banks, which will help you move the Bank Nifty. So I hope the video has helped you out. If it has helped you out, let me know in the comments. If you liked my analysis, also do share it with your friends. I hope your friends can benefit out of this analysis. And I will see you in a couple of days, as always. Thank you so much.